Hello. This is so bizarre. This is either somebody said that this is my first time going live. And I honestly can't remember if it is. I don't know if I've gone live or not. This might be my first time going live. And if it is, I couldn't have picked a better group than you guys. I feel very honored. I don't know who you are, but I'm assuming you're good people. Hi guys. So I'm here to talk about my new single, We Belong, and just to generally chat with you guys about life, and answer some of your questions that you guys have been sending in. I've been very much looking forward to this. How is everybody? I hate watching people go live and then having them be like, "Oh, hi," for the first 15 minutes. So I'm just gonna dive right in. Okay, so a question that I received a lot is advice for getting through this difficult time. So, excuse me as I crack my fingers on my skull. Advice for getting through this difficult time. I don't know if I am any more qualified to speak on this than anybody else. This is just my personal experience. So this is a weird, unprecedented time because obviously with this pandemic and this lockdown, this is something super unnatural for human beings. This isn't about my song, but this is a really unnatural time for humans, and something I have to keep reminding myself as I have a new struggle every day is that we really are not meant to be doing this. We're not meant to be in the same place for this long. Human beings aren't meant to be with each other for this long, uninterrupted. So anything that you're facing right now, I don't know if this brings you any peace, but just knowing that it is probably pretty normal for this very abnormal circumstance, I guess is what I would say. This is completely unprecedented in modern times. So whatever you're feeling right now, let it happen, let it bubble up. Don't try to stop it or squash it or even judge it. Probably journal. Hopefully there's somebody who you feel safe with and you can talk to them about your feelings around all of this. But just know that whatever you're feeling is probably normal. Definitely prioritize getting some sunlight because seasonal depression is real. I don't know what it's like climate-wise where you guys are right now, but definitely making sure you get some light, just some natural light, not even nothing crazy, just some natural light. Journaling, trying to get your heart rate up and exercise because it's not for anything other than it just is really good for your body and really good for your mind. Makes your synapses fire, and that's really good for you. Yeah. Speaking about it as much as you can, not keeping it to yourself. Okay. I'm reading your questions as they come in. Okay, this was another one that I got a lot. What does We Belong mean to you? So as a lot of you guys know, I released my newest single, We Belong, last Friday. And your response to it has been so incredible. I think this is my 6th song I've released, and it seems to be your favorite, and it's definitely one of my favorites. So it makes me so happy to see how you guys are making it your own, and you keep sending me videos, and also I did a challenge on Twitter for you guys to send me videos of you guys dancing and singing to it, and I will repost those on my Instagram stories. I was just waiting for them all to come in. They're really amazing. I saw some amazing covers. Really amazing covers. Actually, somebody last night, I was with my family, social distancing, and we were trying to figure out the chords to this really beautiful cover that somebody sent in. So I really watched them all, and I will be posting them because you guys are really amazing. Some of you guys are so talented. A lot of the drawings you've been doing, mind-blowing. But yeah, so what does We Belong mean to you? So We Belong is a song. I mean, it's a love song. It's a love song in general about that kind of like feeling when you're first dating somebody and you're like, I mean, you know, doesn't have to be first dating somebody. I still feel that way about my partner. But when you're so like fucked up over somebody, like so in love with them, so in lust with them, that even if you're countries apart, miles apart, or just even in the social distancing time, you know, all you can do is think about them, and you might not be with them, but that line, like, think I'm allergic to every other person, I feel like we've all been there, where we're like, do I not like anybody but you? Do I only like you, and everybody else like could go and I wouldn't even notice if they were gone? So yeah, We Belong is a love song for you and your partner, whoever, or you know, whoever the person is that you love, whoever you're obsessed with. But it's also a song about being like fiercely independent and being good on your own and still loving somebody, still like wanting that thing for yourself, because that's definitely me. Do you have a favorite part or lyric in We Belong? I feel like my favorite lyric is probably bang bang, think I'm allergic to every other person. It's just it just like really encapsulates how I feel when I'm in love. And apparently how a lot of you guys feel when you're in love. It makes me happy when you laugh. I have like 90 laughs and I find them all really difficult to hear. I hate the sound of my own laugh, but a lot of you guys are sending love on We Belong. I'm trying to do a combination of answering the questions in the chat and answering what you guys sent in. Hi. This is so weird. I feel like I should be able to hear you guys in my ears, and I can't. I'm just talking to myself. How do people go live all the time? Did you get inspired by Thomas when you did We Belong? I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I feel like a lot of my writing process is based on experience. Like, it is based on who I'm in love with. And obviously I've been with Thomas for like 3.5 years. So a lot of it is going to be influenced by my relationship naturally. But a lot of it also is just like my experience of love in general. You know what I mean? Like it's a combination of my relationship, who I'm in love with, and then also just like things that I see that I'm inspired by, other people's relationships, things like that. Like I wrote it with a couple other producers and writers, and you know, their relationship is mixed in there, and it's like a whole encompassing thing. Also, sometimes I write love songs like for you guys. Sometimes I write love songs based on your experiences and things that I think that you might be experiencing, you know. So yeah, it's like a big amalgamation of everything. Let's see. Can I see your tattoos? You can't see all of them because some of them are hidden. I think I have 12 tattoos now. So I have this one, obviously, for Cameron. I have this, which has a matching pair on my other side of my wrist, or my other wrist. I have the snake, which you guys like. I have Do It for Aphrodite. I have the little X with Kiersey. What else? I feel like I always forget. I have this little sun on the inside of my hand. And then I have a bunch all over. I feel like you guys have seen my snake tattoo one too many times. Okay. Thank you for saying my cover was beautiful on Twitter. I'm insanely grateful. If you are who I think you are, your cover was so beautiful. Were you the one that transposed it? It was so eerie, so beautiful. I'm really gonna try to cover it how you did it. I'm really gonna try to. I have a little like cheap, terrible keyboard now that I'm gonna try to. That I'm gonna try and figure out what you did. If you want to send me what you did, you're more than welcome, because I can't fully figure it out. And it was stunning. Say je t'aime. Je t'aime. Te amo. Daisuki. Snake reminds me of Harry Potter too. Okay, this has nothing to do with We Belong, but I need to set the record straight. My snake tattoos have nothing to do with Harry Potter, Taylor Swift, or Riverdale. And I think like so many people think that I am like a really big fan of one of the three. I mean, I am a fan of Harry Potter and Riverdale and Taylor Swift, but I definitely did not get my snake tattoo based on any of those things, I'm sorry to say. I can go into why I actually did it more later, but okay. Another question that you guys sent in a lot: was it exciting to learn that After We Collided wanted to use your song? So yeah, so I did We Belong about a year ago, back when I was doing The Light in the Piazza at LA Opera. I think is when I got the first version back. And I've had it since then. So it's not actually written for After We Collided. It was just written based on me and my life and other things. And then the After franchise reached out and they wanted to use So Good, another song that I've actually already released. And they liked it for like the tone of the film, I guess. And then they reached out again and they wanted to know what else we had that I hadn't released yet. And completely unbeknownst to me, my label was talking to them for a few weeks and sent them a bunch of stuff that we hadn't released yet, and they really liked We Belong, and it just made sense. Like, it was just one of those things that just like happened. I feel like so much of what happens in Hollywood is like not actually planned. Like, I see so many people reaching out, like it's so last minute as well. Like, we weren't planning on releasing We Belong. We didn't even know if we were going to release it. We didn't know if we were going to release it ever. And so to see the positive reaction from my fans and the After fans is really cool, because it just kind of like happened accidentally, I guess. Say hi, Chloe. Hi, Chloe. Am I saying that to myself or to you? Hi from Japan. Hi. What do you do in your free time? I journal. Everybody makes fun of me for my journaling. I really do journal. I know it sounds super lame and people are always like, oh, of course you journal. But I do. I really like, it's how I organize my brain. I've learned I am an external processor, if anybody knows anything about that. I am not an internal processor. I have to either say it out loud and hear it to know that that's how I feel, or I need to write it down and see it, which is why talk therapy is great for me and my anxiety. And so is journaling. I journal a lot. And if you are an external processor, I definitely recommend it. Also, I don't know, I do watch a lot of TV and movies, and I listen to a lot of music. These are always in, even when I'm just going around the house. I work out. I don't know. I feel like my stuff in my spare time has really changed. But I also work a lot. Like I've been doing a lot of music. And I'm very excited to share more with you guys about that when I can. Okay. Are you crying? No, I'm not crying. I always look like I'm crying. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I just have like, I look like I have like glassy eyes. They might always be bloodshot. Hey. Are you going to do any movie or shows in the future? Yeah. So I was in the middle of 2 films when we went into a lockdown. I don't know when I'm going to be able to finish those. I'm in like a big group chat with both of the casts, and we're both like, are we going to be 45 when we finish these films? Like, see you in 2031. I don't know when I'm going to be able to finish those, but I can't quite talk about both of them yet, but those will hopefully be coming out whenever we can finish them. And then I have like 2 movies and 1 show that is kind of like just waiting until we're at a place where everybody can start filming again. You know, everything is like in development stages right now, but I'll keep you posted on all of that while it happens, as it comes. You guys say the funniest stuff on here. You are so baby. It's true. There's nothing I've ever agreed with more. I love you so much from Israel. Love you guys. You're just super hydrated, someone says. Oh, hi. Hi, G. Does your nail still hurt? No, I am okay. Thank you for all of your well wishes and your prayers. They helped me heal. I love you with all my heart. I love you with all my heart. Okay. What else? Would We Belong have come out regardless of the trailer? That's really interesting. We don't know. That was one of those songs that we'd recorded it. So often what will happen is I'll either write a song or I'll get a song sent to me and we'll be like, wow, we love this. We being me and my label. We'll be like, we love this. We want to do this. And you can't really ever tell what a song is going to be like, obviously, until you put your voice on it. So a lot of the stuff that I have backlogged is stuff that we've recorded, and we're just kind of like, we might release this, we might not release this, and then a lot of it is like, we definitely know when we're going to release this. We always loved We Belong, but we didn't know like if and when it was going to come out. We didn't know if it was like going towards the direction of a new sound or whatever, you know, like there's so many decisions that go into releasing a song. But definitely when After We Collided approached us and said that they wanted it, that was what made it come out now. So yeah, so it was a bit of a process. Hello, hi. What book are you reading at the moment? I answered that question really quickly and swiftly without actually having an answer. What book am I reading at the moment? I'm actually reading a book. I started reading a book called Women Don't Owe You Pretty, but I have, real talk, I have so many scripts to read right now. I have like 3 or 4 scripts that I'm supposed to read today. And that really takes up a lot of my like reading time. And I have a really hard time reading for a long time. It takes like, I have to like sit down and like align myself and like focus up and have a lot of coffee. So yeah, that's kind of been taking up my reading time. Although I really, Kat Scudder, hi Chloe, sending you so much light and love. That's wild, you guys. I haven't seen, this is a girl that I know. Hi Kat. This is a girl that I know from when I was like, what, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Kat, and I grew up with her, and I haven't seen her in like 10 plus years. And hi. Would you like to know more Spanish? Yes, I would like to know more Spanish. I know a good amount of French at this point, but I don't know as much Spanish. I feel like the more French I learn, the more Spanish I can kind of understand. Like I can pick out words because they are closely related. They obviously have the same root. Okay. How did you come up with the idea for the We Belong lyric video? Okay, so the We Belong lyric video was inspired by the cover art. And the cover art was chosen because I purposefully wanted it to be... I mean, the cover art was actually sent to us by the art team, I think, at Columbia. And it was so beautiful and so sparse and so... just like eye-catching, and it didn't have any of the color. It was just the black and white, and it was so beautiful and kind of like sexy. And as we added the color, it kind of took on this new thing where it was like a bit of an ambiguous like couple. It was, you know, it could have been anybody kissing. And I really loved that because I think that same-sex love deserves more representation, and I loved that it was up to the viewer to, you know, like to see it how they wanted to see it, and to see like it fits all kind of models of couple. And I really wanted that because I think that same-sex love deserves more just like representation in general, representation in art and in media in a way that it's not about that, but that it is incorporating all kinds of couples because it normalizes it. And, you know, I think that's really beautiful. Speaking as somebody who is bi, I didn't want my art and my visuals to only reflect heterosexual couples. And so that was how the art got formed, the cover art. And then from there, somebody sent in a video interpretation of that, and it was only heterosexual couples being animated. And I was like, well, what's that about? Like, you know, what the fuck? I was like, we need to have more representation than that. We need to have it be going. What I really wanted was for it to be going in and out, for everybody to be kind of like morphing to kind of show that it was about love above all. But the lyric video ended up being really, really stunning. And I was really happy feeling like I represented everybody who I could be speaking about, and everybody who my friends, like I wanted all my friends and all of my fans to be able to see themselves in it, no matter who they love. So I'm really, really happy with how it came together. Okay. Let's see. I have a few. Dove, can you please save this live? Yeah, I think I will, as long as I can figure out how to do that. Yeah, I was talking to a director actually in about a movie that he was doing, where the lead couple that it was based on was a lesbian couple, and he was talking about the importance of creating art that represents everybody, but then in not making it about that, because he was speaking about his struggle with like the studio being like, so it's about, you know, this lesbian couple and it's a statement piece, and he was like, no, it's a film, it's a thriller, it's a film about what the film's about, but I just casually wanted it to be two women as the romantic interests, and I didn't want to make it about that. I just wanted them to be represented, and I wanted to make it as normal as a heterosexual couple would be. I don't want it to be about that. I don't need it to stand out in that sense. I just wanted it to be something that's barely even talked about, because it is so normal and we need to normalize it. And ever since I had that conversation, I've really been thinking about that and how important that is. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to always like attempt to do that going forward in all of my music and all of my art that I create, just making it as normal as how we view a heterosexual couple. Advice for aspiring musicians. Never been able to do that in my life, by the way. I've never been able to do that. That's gonna look really weird when you play that back later. Okay. Advice for aspiring musicians. I would say care about... Did you just take a picture of me?
Jack screenshotted a picture and sent it to me.
Thomas just got caught taking a picture of me. I just saw in the background he just put his phone up and then put it back down.
No, it's because Jack sent me that.
Oh, God.
You said you were talking shit.
Okay, anyway. Definitely... okay, so this is, like, I guess what I would say, coming from somebody who... I am in the position to already have my music be heard, which is really lucky. I also set myself up to be in that position when I signed with Disney, and I knew that eventually, obviously. So I have a bit of a different, do you know what I mean? Like, I can't really, I am self-made. I did start from the ground up, but I also have a major advantage starting my music career once I already have a platform. So I guess what I would say for developing a platform is social media is your friend. Social media is changing the game for how you can be self-made, how you can, you know, go from the ground up. Definitely utilize that. Definitely, I don't overutilize it though. Like keep some of your life to yourself, because I think the second that your career becomes about people's opinions and about people's, like if you start using your career, it's hard. Social media is a double-edged sword, because it's an amazing way to be noticed and to get your message and your music and your brand out there. It is also based on approval from the masses, and with that mindset it can be really damaging to your art and your music, because all you're thinking about is getting as many eyes on your stuff, is getting highest numbers, and just because it is the most popular thing doesn't necessarily mean it's the best thing, and you can get distracted from what is authentic to you, creation, you know, creating wise, like art wise, creationally. Thomas thinks he's a part of this live now. He's just chiming in. But you can get distracted from that because you are trying to be popular or have the most people like you. And so it's kind of like striking that balance, but definitely work on being as good at what you do as possible, not just on being popular, but being really good at it, because when the day comes when somebody does want to hear your music, you want to be able to deliver, and you don't want to fall short. And if it's truly your passion, that will always be at the forefront, as long as you don't let it get crowded. Is that good advice? I don't know. Did you create the We Belong artwork? So, no, I didn't create it. I cannot draw to save my fucking life. I am so bad at anything, like with, like, art-wise with my hands, oh my god, you guys, you should see me try to draw or paint or anything. It's laughable. Like, it literally looks like a child in art classes, and that, like, your mom would be like, oh my god, you're never gonna be an artist. So bad. But I do always have input on the stuff that gets released. I'm very controlling when it comes to my music and my visuals and my art and things like that. Which of your songs is your favorite? That's really hard. I don't know. I feel like they're all my favorite. I love Waste. Waste will always be like one of my number ones. I also love Remember Me. I love We Belong. I love all of them. I really do love all of them. I love So Good. I love the So Good music video. And do more things like that. Any new hobbies that you picked up in quarantine? I do this weird thing with my face. What am I doing? I like support my face in these weird ways. Any weird hobbies? I don't know. What is it? Shut up. He is the worst. He just tries to mess me up, honestly. Like, he'll be doing his own thing all day, and then I'll go live, or I'll do like an interview or something, and he'll be like trying to make me break off. You're such an asshole. New habits and hobbies. I don't know. I mean, I got a keyboard. So I like it. I've been working out way more. I'm working, but there's nothing to distract me. Okay. Oh, everybody's saying I'm covering the mic. Sorry, guys. I'm so bad at this. Why did anybody let me have a live?
Rachel just said tell Chloe she's covering the mic.
I just got like 5 texts being like, you're covering the mic. Sorry, guys. Jordan Fisher. Hi, Jordan. Oh my god, I'm such a big fan of you. I'm fangirling. I don't know where I left off, but no, I've not picked up any new habits in quarantine. I've just been taking good care of myself, I guess. Oh, I didn't do these nails, but I have gotten really good at doing my own nails, and I got a keyboard, so hopefully you'll see me do really, really terrible covers eventually until they become better covers. Yeah, I don't know. I'll keep you posted. Oh, I've been learning French. I mean, I've always kind of been learning French, but I've been learning way more French. What inspires you to write music? This is the last question that I have that you guys sent in, and I'll do a few more from the actual ones that you're sending in now, and then I'll leave you guys to have your day. What inspires me to write music? My feelings, my own feelings. Like, I think that I always have been very much an emotional person, and those emotions come when they come. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense to you. Like, they come very naturally to me, and sometimes they come on very quickly. And in those times, that's when I'm like, I need to go write. Like, if I'm sitting somewhere and I'm feeling pretty neutral, and then I'm like all of a sudden thrown into a really anxious space, hey guys, anxiety, or I'm thrown into a really depressive state, or I am on some kind of like, I have this like rush of like happiness, or this like intense feeling that takes over, which I feel like is part of being an artist, in some ways. Then I'll go and write something. Like, those are the spaces in which I'm always like, I need to take advantage of this really intense feeling and go express it in some way that feels like I'm like capturing this feeling, because there's nothing more communicative, I think, than music, and there's nothing that translates more than music to other people, I think. Like, music and poetry are really, they're like ways that you can trap a feeling and pass it along to somebody else and be like, do you feel this way? So yeah, that's what inspires me to write music, and love and stuff. But honestly, when I'm like really happy, I have a really hard time writing, because if I'm really happy, I feel really like involved in my life around me, and I'm not trying to sit down to write a song. I'm like, have I ever written a song? No. I'm like off in, some city somewhere being irresponsible and distracted. But yeah, I've been writing a lot more in quarantine because I can't do anything else. Okay, I'm going to answer some other questions. Send me any questions, and I'll answer a few more, and then we'll go. And then you guys can go back to streaming We Belong 24/7, as I know that you're doing. And if you're not, you should, because it'll clear up your skin and give you good grades, and you'll always be in really good lighting. That's what I've found ever since I've been streaming it. My lighting is top notch, you guys. Your voice helps me a lot in my bad moments. That's so sweet. I love to hear that. I used to be really insecure about the sound of my voice. Not even my ability to sing, but just the sound of my voice. And I'm starting to love it now that I'm creating more music. What made you want to become an actress or a singer? Actors and singers. I have such a love for humans that I grew up in a super tiny town surrounded by woods, and all I really had was music and movies and TV. Not even really TV. We didn't have cable, so I mostly had movies and music to like feel all of my feelings too. And yeah, nothing makes me feel more than performers and actors and singers and artists. And so I was like, why would I do anything besides that? Like I just don't feel like I belong anywhere else, if that makes any sense. Streaming it is the last thing I'll do. Great. Love to hear it. We love to hear it. You guys have actually been so amazing streaming We Belong. It's so amazing to see how much you guys are loving it. Either that or I'm just like convincing you to listen to it all the time, promising you all these things. Okay. You guys are so sweet. I love you so much. Album. I don't know. Is my label watching this? Guys, are you watching? The people want an album. You have to hit up Disruptor Records and Columbia and Sony. Go on Twitter and Instagram and just flood them with requests for an album or an EP. Just go and like harass them. You have my full permission. It's up to them. Okay. Jack Nixon says, come back to Scotland, you sweet swedgy honey. No, get away from me. Oh God. Jack, stop trying to ruin my career. Jack and Thomas, tag team. Yes, we want an album. The people want an album. You're the most inspiring person for me. You have so much talents. How do you keep up with all of your abilities? Thank you. Very kind of you. Poorly is the answer. You are right, actually, to ask that question. Get away from me. Thomas always tries to fuck me up when it comes to lives. He's looking at me like he's the worst. Stop!
I'm walking over to it.
Stop looking at me. Oh my God. Him and his newly blonded hair. Yeah. Singing is something that you have to keep up. Singing is something that you have to do continually. So normally I'm really bad at it because I've been in quarantine, I've been singing a lot, and so I feel like my voice is in like good shape while also it's a bit, you can hear the damage. It's a bit smoky, it's a bit damaged. It's like in really good shape, if that makes any sense, because the voice is a muscle, so the more you use it healthily, the more kind of like tricks you can do with it, if that makes any sense. So yeah, just setting time aside and doing that, whatever your passion is, like putting the work in and things like that. I'm about to attempt to teach myself piano, honestly, because I always have, these are my real nails, and I always have long ass nails, except for this one that you guys saw that she broke. And I can't play guitar with them. How stupid is that? Like, I just always have long nails, and so I can't I literally was like, well, I'll never be able to play guitar with long nails, so I might as well get a keyboard if I'm gonna do covers at home. So stupid. But yeah, so you just gotta keep up with them. You gotta invest in your talent and things like that. Oh God, I keep covering the mic. I'm so sorry. Sorry. I love you, Argentina. I love you, Peru. I love you, Brazil. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a couple more questions and then I'm going to leave. This has been a very long live. Do you think it's possible to lose your passion as it becomes your job? Good question, G. Yeah, I do. I think that I have had to really keep my love for acting and music and singing alive, because this job can become very corporate and very like mechanical. Like, this is very much, Hollywood is very, very much a job. It is not like a normal job in the sense, you know, there's no really 9 to 5 and all these things like that. Obviously it's different in that sense, but it's much more of a job than I think people think. It requires a lot more work. It's a lot more political. It's not as like artistic as I would have thought when I was younger, in a lot of ways, but then like as it's just kind of handed to you. But you can make it artistic again. You can make it, you know, passion based again, rather than like entirely political and entirely scary and entirely like, oh God, you know. I think when you stop thinking about other people's opinions as much and you remember the art that you wanted to make when you first got into it, that helps. Because I have to think back to, you know, when I was like 10 years old and I was like, if I ever make it to Hollywood, nobody's gonna be able to tell me anything. I know exactly what kind of music and movies I want to create. I know exactly who I am. And then fast forward to when it's real and you're kind of like, oh, who am I? Like, what do I want to create? Because your vision gets clouded, especially with social media, with like, who am I creating for? What point of view am I coming from? Am I just doing this, you know, to please people? Am I just doing this so that people don't get mad at me? Am I just doing this because this is the reason, this is what people expect from me? And that's really not fun. That's really not a healthy place to be creating from. And you'll never create anything authentic to yourself. And you will end up hating it. And so that's kind of what I've had to do over the last year, is divorce myself from public opinion, what people want, what people think, you know, a Disney star is meant to do, or where they thought my career was going to go, or all these things. I have to be like, that's like far away from me. That's got nothing to do with me. And I have to kind of rewrite it for myself. And I'm starting to kind of love what I do again in the way that I did when I was just starting out. I'm starting to feel like excited again. Okay, you guys. Do you have any advice for anxiety? I have an anxiety disorder. You are so inspirational. Hope to meet you in person. Thank you. Yeah. So I have something called chronic PTSD, which is what happens when you have had a number of traumatic events repetitively in your life. And either before that or because of that or splintered off from that, I also have depressive tendencies and OCD tendencies and really, really bad anxiety. I guess I would say my best tips to deal with that would be, it's so hard because it's so individual, isn't it? I used to really feel like there was a kind of like a one size fits all, like hackable tip list. And I don't think that there is. I think that it's a case by case basis. I think that what works best for you is what works best for you. I can say that sunlight is good for every human being. Like, natural sunlight does hack a chemical in your brain. It will help you to not be in the dark all day. It will help you to be more in touch with nature, even if that is literally just like opening up a window. You know, I'm not going to pretend that I'm like out in nature all day every day, because I'm definitely not. But things that your body chemically is meant to receive is always a good sort of combative thing. Getting endorphins from exercise, sharing your feelings, not bottling them up, even if you don't have somebody that you feel confident doing that with. You know, there are incredible online communities journaling, calling somebody if they're not in person with you, like a best friend far away, being artistic, creating, you know, not being on your phone all day, because it's been proven that your phone isn't the best thing for your mental health. You know, all of these things aren't groundbreaking or changing any of your lives, but just being disciplined with what's good for you, knowing what's bad for you and avoiding those things, knowing what your triggers are and trying to avoid those things. But again, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. I hope that my fans have a good relationship with themselves, and maybe some of you have access to things like therapy. Right now is a really good time to be doing FaceTime therapy. I have therapy every week. You know, things like that. Maybe caffeine, staying away from caffeine. Yeah, and just really, really loving yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't help or love anybody if you aren't helping or loving yourself. So those things. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna wrap this up because I think I've been doing this for 45 minutes, and I was definitely covering the mic for about half that time. So, I love you guys. You are so incredible to me. Thank you so much for tuning in and sending me all your questions about We Belong. Thank you so much for streaming We Belong. Your love for the song has been so amazing to watch. And again, I will be posting those videos of you guys dancing or singing along to We Belong on my stories later. So tag me on Twitter, use the We Belong hashtag, and I'll see you soon. I love you so much. Keep streaming, keep being good to yourselves, keep wearing your masks. Yeah, I love you so much. I'll see you soon.